Hello followers, it is Saturday, June 21st. Gee, I don't even know what day it is. And I just got back from vacation last night. I am coming out here to do a look over of the garden. We did get storm damage on Thursday evening. I came back and all of these sunflowers here, which now have stakes on them, were all sideways. Actually, this one here you can see fell over too. So you can see it's laying right there. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to stake that up again. So yeah, we do have some storm damage out here. Not terrible. All my tomatoes are kind of laying sideways, so I don't know how much of that is the wind and how much of that was due to be staked, but maybe a combination of the two. I see that my leeks are starting to make seed pods here, well, flower pods. Over here my bok choy is bolting, which is funny because according to my schedule they're not supposed to be ready for harvest for another week. I did just flick a little beetle off of these things. They are getting really chewed up. You can see the leaves are all manner of chewed up. I actually only need a couple of these for dinner next week, so I'm thinking I'm going to pluck whatever good leaves I can today and just move them to the fridge just so that I have something for dinner and I won't have to go buy bok choy just for a couple leaves, which would be very unfortunate. My tomato here, which is supposed to be a more hardy version that I talked about before I left, that one's kind of fallen over from the wind. And I have a pokeweed right here I'm going to have to come in and remove. Darn pokeweeds. Take a look over here. This sunflower was like over there when I left and it's moved all the way over here. But ooh, look at the pretty flower coming out. My tomatoes everywhere are kind of flattened by the storm, which is frustrating. And these ones I tried to stake last night, and that one I'm going to have to get a little bit more creative with staking it because it does not want to stay upright. But I did actually want to come over here and show you this. So here's my zucchini, and to show you the kind of wind that we had, this is a pine tree branch from all the way over there. So we had such crazy wind that this branch blew all the way over here from all the way over there. I am going to be harvesting some chamomile today, so I did start doing that. I am still seeing a few aphids, but not to the point where I can't harvest some things. And it looks like the cucumbers, oh, there's a cucumber right there. I came home to a cucumber. That's exciting. I wonder if there's any more hiding in here. It could be, because there were quite a few little ones starting before I left. Oh, there's a nice spider web right there. I've got to leave him alone. A big old bee in here. So it looks like something has been chewing on some of the leaves. I don't know if you could see that with the sun glare, but this leaf right here has some chews on it. This one too. So I'm going to have to see if I can figure out who the culprit of that is. I do have nasturtium growing in here, which before I left had a lot of leaf miner damage, so I actually did have to take a bunch of leaves off of these before I left. And it looks like they're starting to come back, but they're kind of getting squashed in the middle of all of this. I planted green onions that my mom brought me before I left, and they're still alive. And let's see what's going on this side. Lots of chamomile on this side. Lots more chew holes here. So that's never good. My cucumbers are sneaking out. There's a weed in here I'm going to have to pull out. See if there's any more cucumbers hiding. I think that's it for cucumbers right now. But it looks like the cucumber is actually going this way into the zucchini, so I'm going to have to pick that up and move it. My Roma tomatoes, I did see last night, have tomatoes starting on them. Here's some right here. So There's some small tomatoes starting there. So hopefully the wind hasn't done too much damage to these plants. Like some of them are kind of crooked. Like these eggplants are definitely a little crooked. Like before I left they were kind of in a row and now they're like neat, neat, neat. And this kind of fell on these peppers. Oh dear. Oh, and my wind spinner that I put up before I left is dead. The end of it, which I think this is actually like a fiberglass or something. This is like heavy duty stuff here, and it's actually snapped. My other wind spinner is at a funky angle. So we've got a little bit of damage, nothing terrible, but it's frustrating. Oh, and then there's lots of peas. My mom said that she harvested a bunch of peas and they're in the fridge. But I was looking at these yesterday and I have like some very full peas on here I'll have to come out and pick. Oh, my flea bane's blocking the path here. My coleus is looking a little better. So this thing was looking really leggy and sad for a while, but it looks like it's bouncing back. It's got lots of leaves on it. It's got some dead bits here that I'm gonna have to snip off. Let's see. So my experiment of putting acorn squash in here, they're starting to come up there. So the peas are just about done, which works out because I'll be able to start removing the peas soon, and it will just be the bed for these acorn squash and let them climb up this. So we'll see how that goes. Down here we've got some really sad looking strawberries. They're like dried out on the plant. That's weird. Any other strawberries in here? I don't see any more strawberries. I am seeing flowers, but I'm not seeing strawberries. The violas are starting to go to seed. So you can see these things here, all seed pods, and right here is viola seeds. So they will drop seeds all over the place and make more plants. And they probably won't do anything until like the fall. I'll start seeing them pop up again in the fall when it cools down. So that should be cool. Got some flea bane popping up over here. My chives have gone to seed. And that's chive seed, so you can see how easy it is to get these. So once the seed head dries, you can hang these upside down and it will drop the seeds, and then you can plant them or whatever you want to do with them. Looks like the pineapple survived the storm. The leaves are getting darker tips here, but it is looking a lot better. It's a much nicer green than when I first brought it home, but I am getting a lot of weeds around it, so I'm going to have to come out here and do something about that. Let's carefully walk around here, see what else is going on. The oregano is huge, and it's starting to go to seed, like it's starting to flower, and once it does this, it gets really tough. Like these stems get really tough, so I'm going to have to really trim this back. I keep saying every week I'm going to trim it back, but there's 5,000 other things to do. I keep forgetting about it. The clematis is not looking great on this side, but it did give me some really deep pink flowers. So if you remember before, it was giving me purple flowers, and now they've changed to this interesting pink color. And it's done that to me before, where it starts out the year like a light purple. Okay, so this is what it normally looks like. And now this next batch of flowers it's giving me are all this really interesting pink color. And I have no idea why it does that. If anyone knows why it changes color throughout the season, I'd be really curious to know, because it does start out like this light purple and goes to a dark color. The red, the red leaf lettuce is looking really nice and like it needs to be harvested. Down here, there's the darn grass. This is the creeping thyme I was given. That's looking really good. My English thyme is looking really happy. That's really bounced back nicely. This little coleus down here is doing all right. And the green onions have gotten even bigger, if that's possible. So I actually will be using quite a bit of that next week, because next week I do with the kids, every week this summer is going to be a theme week, and next week is Hawaii week because of June 26th, 626 Day, Stitch Day. So we do Hawaiian week, so I will be doing the bok choy with ohana noodles, and the green onions are in a couple of the Hawaiian dishes. So it's going to be fun being able to use some things from the garden this year, because last year we definitely didn't have any bok choy, and I think I probably used some green onions. And then down here, this is getting overshadowed by a giant leaf. Alright, looks like the kids are coming outside to use the pool because it is kind of hot today. So I will see you next week.